forgive me after such a great win from starting away from the competition itself, but a really good day for English cricket, and particularly for Ben, that he feels physically and mentally well enough to be back and be part of that Ashes squad.
Yeah, I think it's great news both for England and for Ben himself. It's great news that his finger's heading in the right way, and it's great news that he's ready to play cricket again. So I know the lads have been talking about it here, and it's really nice to see Ben coming back to cricket.
Give us a sense of psychologically the boost that it does give the lads who are going to Australia to have one of the most integral parts of the team back available again.
I think it's massive. I think to have Ben around a group is great. I've played a lot of cricket with Ben over the last couple of years. And just to have him around an environment is a massive boost for any team. So especially going to a massive series like the Ashes, it'll be great for the lads to have Ben around, but I think it'll also be great for Ben to be back around. I'm sure he's really excited to get back to cricket, and I'm sure he'll be really looking forward to getting out to Australia and getting involved in an Ashes series. So yeah, like you said, it's great for English cricket, and it's a massive boost for the boys going out there to Australia.
A reflection on Saturday then, did that feel like a real big statement to open a tournament with such an emphatic victory? Yeah,
absolutely. It's great for the lads to get off to a winning start. I thought our bowlers were phenomenal. Jason just interrupted. Yeah, the bowlers were phenomenal. The way they set the tone in the power play and sort of carried that on right the way through, trying to take wickets as much as we could and to restrict them to that sort of score run. It wasn't the easiest pitch, but I thought the bowlers bowled phenomenally well, and then really good chase to chase it down. We were trying to get it as quick as we could, and really good innings from Josh to sort of anchor us home. But I guess for the start of a tournament to sort of start like that, it's a great confidence boost for us, and yeah, hopefully we can carry that on as the tournament goes on.
From a pitch perspective, you mentioned it there. From what we've seen, both from the first few games and also the prelims as well, it doesn't seem like the sort of wickets where you're going to be out to go out and blast sort of 190 for 3. Is that something you've spoken about as a batting group, that the goalposts may have changed a little bit in terms of targets throughout the comp?
I think one thing we pride ourselves on is we obviously pride ourselves on our attacking cricket, but also being smart. And I guess that's what we're going to have to do during this World Cup, is try and play the smartest cricket possible, read the conditions as quickly as we can, because some of these pitches can be really good, and 190, 200 is going to be par, and some pitches, especially when the dew comes in. So yeah, I guess it's all about being smart and communicating really well as a group, especially as a batting group, and sort of assessing conditions as quickly as we can, and sort of passing that information on as we go along. So yeah, I guess no pitch is going to be the same. I guess it's all about trying to assess conditions as quickly as possible. And I think the teams that play the smartest cricket throughout the tournament will be the ones that are challenging come the end of the tournament.
And just finally from me then, where do you feel with your own form at the moment?
Yeah, it's not been ideal. The IPL was a bit of a slog for me, but I've had a great summer. I've brought a lot of confidence from the summer, and I've still got a lot of that stored away. So thankfully in this team, we've got a lot of match winners that can win a game themselves on any given day, and I count myself as one of them. So yeah, thankfully we're blessed with a lot of talent, and we bat a long way down. So yeah, hopefully over the next couple of games I can start contributing to some England wins.
Thank you, Liam.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Rob. Let's go to Dave Charlesworth.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Liam. I was just wondering, with picking up the news about form there, can you hear me, or is this too much noise in the background?
Sorry. Bit of noise in the background.
Bit of noise. Just
sorry, can you come back to us? Something that bit would be better.
Yeah, that's you. Who else wants to ask a question? Sorry about that. Let's go to Tawid and Qureshi. Go ahead, Tawid.
Hi there. Hi, Liam. Just looking ahead to Wednesday's game against Bangladesh. They're not really a team that England have played too often in the recent past. Does that mean you have to prepare a bit more, like as in do a bit more research planning going into the game?
No, I think one thing we pride ourselves on is concentrating on us as a team. We stick to our strengths. We talk about the way we go about things, and obviously we do our research and analysis on opposition. but we don't tend to spend too much time on thinking about the way other teams play. We'll obviously do our research, see what we're coming up against. But one thing we pride ourselves on is sticking to our strengths, and that's something we'll continue to do on Wednesday.
And just thinking about the game, the conditions it's going to be played in, it's obviously a day game, it's going to be very hot. And potentially, well, there won't be any dew potentially coming into play. Do you think that will mean that, you know, the spinners are going to come into play a bit more?
Yeah, I guess it all depends on the condition of the pitch. It'll certainly be hot. It's not quite as hot as what it was 2, 3, 4 weeks ago in the IPL. The weather's getting a little bit more pleasant out here, so I think the sweat will be a factor for spinners more so than the dew. But yeah, like we said, we'll have to see what the conditions are like. Pitches have been so different out here over the last couple of weeks, so yeah, like I said before, we'll have to assess conditions and see what the best sort of attack is to go with. Thankfully, I think we've got a well-balanced team. We've got options all around. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to assess the conditions as quickly as possible. And thankfully, we've got what we need in the armoury.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Let's go to Lizzie and then John.
Hi, Liam. You've obviously, some of you got your families out with you, but I just wanted to ask about kind of how it is within the bubble. Obviously, you're sort of restricted to your hotels and how you're kind of coping with that. Is that having an impact, or are you managing okay?
Yeah, I think it's nice for all the boys to have their families here. There's kids running riot, which is great for everyone. I think it's great to have them to take the attention away from cricket. I think that's one of the biggest problems of being in a bubble, is not being able to get away from the game. So it's nice to see all the lads that have got their kids here. And I guess it's great to sort of have that distraction for them boys. And I guess, yeah, thankfully we're really blessed in this hotel. It's really big. We've got the hotel to ourselves. And I guess, yeah, it's all about trying to get away from the game. We've been spending a little bit of time playing golf, and yeah, hopefully as the next sort of tournaments come along, that the bubble will sort of fade away. But yeah, as it is now, I guess we're pretty used to it these days. We've spent pretty much 2 years in the bubble, and thankfully they've got better and better as time has gone on. So it's certainly great for the lads to have their families here. I think it's a great distraction, and it's actually great for us that obviously haven't got kids yet. It's nice to be able to sort of be the childminder in the pool during the day.
Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go John and then Lawrence.
Liam, hi. I mean, 2 or 3 days into the Super 12s, we've had the reigning champions bowled out for 55, the tournament favourites losing by 10 wickets. I mean, there's been a few shocks, I suppose. I mean, although you wouldn't consider your win a shock, but maybe bowling out win this for 55. How do you assess that? Is that just the sort of nature of T20 cricket, or does it show that you know, any team can win this thing?
I think that's T20 cricket these days. Any team can beat anyone on their given day. There's so many strong teams in this competition that, yeah, I guess when you've got the tag of favourites or whatever it is, it doesn't really mean anything when you step on the pitch. There's so many match winners in all 12 of the teams. So I guess it just proves to show that you've got to be right on your game. There's no taking any game lightly. And as we seen last night, I think the pitches are going to change, especially as the dew comes in. So yeah, I guess you've got to be right on top of your game. There's not going to be any easy games as we go throughout the tournament. So yeah, I wouldn't say they're shock results. I think it just shows the T20 cricket at the moment. Anybody can beat anybody.
And the way the sort of qualifying matches fell means that you've got the 2 test playing nations, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and Scotland and Namibia in another group. Does that make your task a little bit more tricky?
No, I don't think so. I think the cricket that Scotland and Namibia played, they actually look really strong teams. So yeah, whoever you play, whoever you come up against, you've got to beat them on any given day. So yeah, we'll obviously take on Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and we'll sort of prepare as well as we can for both them teams. But yeah, to win a World Cup, you've got to beat many teams. So whoever you come up against, you've got to play your best cricket on the day and hopefully come out on the right side of the result.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers, John. Let's go Lawrence and then one more after that.
Hi, Liam. Just wondered after the great summer you had, whether you feel there's extra level of expectation when you walk out to bat now, and if so, how do you deal with that kind of pressure? Are you good at sort of absorbing all that?
Absolutely not. Like I said, all the way through the summer, I'm really enjoying my cricket. Things haven't gone my way recently, but I'm still enjoying playing cricket, and ultimately that's a place that I want to be in. I guess as the summer went on, it got, I guess the expectation grew and grew, but I guess that's a part of the game. It's something I really enjoyed. And yeah, I had a great summer, and hopefully over the next couple of games, we can get back to that sort of form, and I can get back to helping England win games of cricket. And ultimately that's what I want to do over the next couple of weeks.
And what was it over the summer that, I mean, it looked from the outside as if you took your game to another level. Were you doing anything different? Was it a mentality thing?
No, absolutely not. I was just really enjoying playing cricket. There was no sort of time to sort of sit back and think about things. It was pretty much international cricket straight into the 100. So there was no time to think. It was pretty much game to game, and I got on a bit of a roll and took it from there. So yeah, there wasn't really anything I changed. I just tried to be as positive as I could. And I guess the biggest thing was in the 100 was trying to entertain new fans that were coming to cricket. And I guess that was the exciting part, that we had the opportunity to entertain people that probably hadn't watched the game before. So yeah, like you said, the summer was really good for me, and hopefully I can get back to that sort of form in the next couple of games.
And just finally, just sort of going slightly off the boil, I guess, in the IPL. I mean, is that just the nature of 2020, or what do you put that down to?
Yeah, absolutely. It's T20 cricket. You can't get too high and you can't get too low. I guess that was the big thing that I told myself in the summer, was things were going really well, but it wasn't as though I'd completed cricket. I knew that things can change very quickly, and like they have over the IPL. I found the IPL really difficult. I guess it's more getting used to different conditions and maybe little tweaks in your technique that creep in that after having a couple of weeks break. So yeah, I guess I'm working as hard as I ever have off the field. I've had another really good training session today, and things feel like they're sort of getting back to where they were in the summer. So hopefully I can take that into the next couple of games.
Sure, thank you.
Cheers, Lawrence. Last one, Will, please.
Hi, Liam. Obviously, England had a pretty flexible batting lineup on Saturday, with David carded at 3 and then not actually used. I just wonder whether you could give us an insight into sort of how that works in practice, like when you find out where you're going to go in. Is it just sort of Morgs is sat there and he says, right, Livy, you're next, or how does it work? Is it just very fluid?
Yeah, I think it's pretty fluid. There's no real set order. I think we start with our set order, and then pretty much as the game unfolds, we get told what's going on. I think that's one of our great strengths, is having the flexibility of people to bat in many different positions. So it's something we pride ourselves on, and I guess yeah, we're very blessed to have the #1 batsman in the world batting at 3, and it's nice to sort of have players who can take the game away further down, and if we get off to a good start, then maybe they can go up the order. I guess it's all down to Morgs. I don't really get too involved in it all. It's all up to him. We're led by the best captain in the world, and he pretty much tells us when we're batting, and we go out to do our job.